Sight for White newsletter Summer 2023. Your local sight loss charity. Spotlight on Martin. Meet Yvonne. Isle of Wight Festival. Dress for Less. Storywriting competition, plus much more. Address Millbrook House, 137 Carisbrooke Road, Newport, PO30 1DD, charity number 1149415, company number 6240404. Front cover shows a photograph of our volunteer Yvonne.
Welcome to our summer newsletter. As always, there has been lots going on besides our usual weekly clubs, including a very successful holiday at Norton Grange, enjoyed very much by our members. On our Cycle Your Bike challenge, we hope to reach 932 sponsored miles to represent all those living with profound sight loss on the island. We also celebrated the anniversary of the much valued Talking News, an astonishing 1,500 editions. Lisa and her team of volunteers had a very successful time at the recent Isle of Wight Festival with a version of Goalball, which was enthusiastically enjoyed by many of the festival goers. We will be at Brading Roman Villa on September the 16th for the Isle of Wight Day, so come and try Goalball for yourself. It is great fun. Dress for Less has now opened the new shop situated in Parsons Street, Newport. Debbie and her team have all worked so hard to make it such an enjoyable shopping experience, and we have had some very positive feedback. Following National Volunteers Week in June, our Volunteers Tea Party was very well attended on the 4th of July. This is such a lovely event, as it gives us a chance to thank our loyal and supportive volunteers, and there's always plenty of cake. I am delighted to say we are back up to over 100 people helping us, contributing between 600 to 800 hours every month. All of this would not be possible without our wonderful and hard-working staff, our incredible volunteers and trustees, all who put in so many extra hours to enable us to offer support to those who need it on the island.
Hello, this is Lisa reading the CEO update for the newsletter. I can't quite understand where 2023 is going. Only 5 months to Christmas, as my son told me. We have had a very busy time fundraising recently with the Isle of Wight Festival and our Get on Your Bike for Sight for Wight fundraiser, both in June. We have raised over £2,500, which we could not do without the generosity of our volunteers, without whom we could not run these events. To celebrate with them, we held our summer volunteer get-together on the 4th of July. With the weather deciding not to play ball, it was a bit crowded inside, but everybody had a great time and lots of cake was eaten. On Midsummer Solstice, the 21st of June, we again delivered our hat and sunglasses video to every primary school on the island, so the upwards of 15,000 Isle of Wight primary school children could learn the importance of protecting young eyes from harmful UVA and UVB rays, in turn protecting their macula against degeneration in later years. As Sue has said, the shop move to Dress for Less has now happened, with the new shop at 57 Parsons Street, just round the corner from the HSBC Bank where Mitchard's Hair was. With the car parking and loading bay available at the back of B&M, the new shop is already flourishing, as Debbie details in her newsletter article. We have our next Low Vision and Low Hearing Day planned for September the 13th, held again at the Scout Hall in Newport. This will offer ample parking, and we will again be running a pick-up service from the bus station. With Wolverton Show, Isle of Wight Day, Quiz at Gallybaggers Inn, Millbrook Pudding and Quiz Night and the Newport Carnival, we look forward to seeing lots more of you. Thank you, Lisa.
Members' activities. Please note there are no activities during August.
Weekly. Monday. ICT accessibility drop-in sessions at Millbrook House between 9:30am and 12:30pm. This is an ideal opportunity to learn about accessibility features on your computer, laptop, tablet or phone. Sam is on hand to help you with all your questions. Please note, this is an accessibility drop-in clinic. We will help as much as we can, but if you are looking for lessons on how to use a computer, then please contact us for Age UK course dates.
Monday, swimming at Medina Leisure Centre, Newport, term time only, between 1:15pm and 2:15pm. The cost is £6 and £2.50 local transport, Newport area, but £3.50 for wider transport, i.e. Ryde area.
Tuesday. Yoga at Millbrook House between 1:45pm and 2:45pm. Come along and try gentle yoga. Just £4, which includes refreshments.
Wednesday, coffee and chat at Millbrook House between 10am and 11:30am. All are welcome to join us for coffee and chat. The cost is £2 and the group is open to everyone.
Thursday. Mix and mingle at Millbrook House between 10:30am and 2pm. Planned activities include crafts, quizzes and entertainment. The cost is £4 plus £3.50 for transport if required.
Fortnightly tennis is held at Ryde Mead Tennis Club on Mondays between 9:30 and 10:30am. The club is behind Yalf's in Church Lane, Ryde. Volunteers of the club are on hand to assist.
Monthly groups. First Tuesday of the month. God's Hill Coffee Morning, 10:30am to 12pm, held at the Old Smithy Coffee Shop, God's Hill. Volunteers Yvonne and Linda will be on hand to chat every month.
The first Thursday of the month is our audio book group, held at the Lord Louis Library, Newport, between 2pm and 3pm. This group is free to attend. You will receive a USB stick or CD from the RNIB, and then the group will discuss the book at the following meeting.
Second Tuesday of the month, Our Place Community Cafe at West White Sports Centre, Mower Place, Freshwater. Our volunteer Jane will be there along with a member of staff.
The fourth Wednesday of the month, Ion Social, held at Millbrook House between 2pm and 3:30pm. Invited guest speakers will be giving talks on a variety of topics. The group is open to everyone, members, volunteers and friends, so come along. The cost is £3, which includes refreshments.
Fourth Thursday of the month, Our Place in Ventnor at St Catherine's Church, Ventnor, between 10:30am and 1:30pm. A member of staff will be on hand.
And the last Friday of the month, Striders, is for members who enjoy walking. There are two groups, first 3 to 4 miles and the second around 6 miles. The cost is £4 plus £3.50 for transport.
Last Sunday of the month, Golf at Westridge Golf Centre, Ryde. Members enjoy 45 minutes on the driving range with an instructor available to help the complete novice to those playing regularly. It is usually the last Sunday of the month, but always call the office to confirm.
Activities do get booked up, so please do not hesitate to call the office to book your place. Where possible, we provide transport, subject to numbers and vehicle availability. If you have any suggestions for an activity, please do come forward and let us know so we can endeavour to accommodate when we can. Or if you wish to volunteer to help others, again, do not hesitate to contact me on 52205. Susan.
Newport Carnival 2023. Once again, we will be entering the town's carnival on July 22nd. This will have happened by the time you receive our newsletter.
On the 23rd of June, we produced our 1500th edition of the Talking News. We will be writing an article in the next issue giving some stories and anecdotes from the whole team.
Pension credit. Pension credit gives people extra money to help with their living costs if they are over the state pension age and on a low income. Once you start getting pension credit, you can also get access to other benefits like help with housing costs, council tax, heating bills, a free TV licence if you're over the age of 75. Even if you own your own home, have savings or get a small occupational pension, you may be eligible for pension credit. Almost half of the people who currently receive pension credit own their own homes. It is easy to claim. Just make a simple phone call to 0800 99 1234. Claim online or fill out a claim form, and if you're not sure what to do, you can also ask a friend or family member to help you.
Supporting patients with urgent eye care, read by Laura Gouljar. Hampshire and Isle of Wight have commissioned a service to support with their urgent eye care needs. This service is called Community Urgent Eye Care Services, known as CUES. This pathway was introduced in response to the COVID-19 pandemic in the autumn of 2020, and since its inception has been a success in providing access to patients for appropriate eye care in the community, and over the past year has been further embedded and broadened in scope. What is the purpose of the service? The CUES service provides urgent assessment, treatment or referral for a sudden onset of eye problems. It allows patients to access urgent eye care that is close to home in a timely manner. Patients are cared for in the right place, first time for your eye care needs, which, in turn, supports GPs, pharmacists and the hospital departments. The service will provide initial contact, telephone triage, remote consultations and telemedicine, and when necessary, face-to-face assessments with an optometrist, a local optical practice or optician for patients with eye problems. Most patients are managed within the community by their optician or optometrist, but if an onward referral is needed, then this will be actioned. What symptoms can be treated by the Community Urgent Eye Care Service? Red or painful eye or eyelids, recently occurring flashes and floaters, recent and sudden loss of vision, or foreign bodies in the eye. Who is eligible for this service? This service is commissioned by the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Integrated Care Board, also known as the ICB, and is provided by your local accredited practices. Currently on the Isle of Wight, Specsavers, Hazel Smith Optician and Jacqueline Lamb Opticians are accredited. This list, however, varies for different services, so please always call using the following number to get the most up-to-date information. 0300 303 4922. How do I access CUES? Patients can access local urgent eye care free of charge by calling 0300 303 4922, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We hope this will support you to access urgent eye care services at a local practice in a timely manner when you need it most. If you are ever in doubt, always seek medical advice. Sudden changes in sight are always best treated as quickly as possible.
Wet Wheels. Once again, we have been given the opportunity to go out on the Wet Wheels vessel on the 18th of September from Cowes. The trip is about an hour long and members find it a really thrilling experience. If you would like to be considered for the trip, please call the office before the 25th of August. The cost is £15 per person and it will be drawn on a ballot if oversubscribed.
Volunteer update. I would like to start by welcoming our new volunteers to Sight for Wight and Dress for Less, and hope you will find your time with us both enjoyable and fulfilling. And au revoir to several volunteers who have left for personal reasons. We wish them well. We held our annual summer thank you party on 4th of July at Millbrook House, and it was our pleasure to see so many volunteers join us and give us the opportunity to thank them all
for the time, help and commitment during the year, because without our volunteers, we would not be able to offer our members activities, events and services. Susan. And then there is a variety of pictures of our volunteers enjoying their afternoon at Millbrook House.
Festival fever hits the island. The island came alive for the annual Isle of Wight Festival, which is great for the island's economy and brings thousands of visitors to our beautiful Isle of Wight. The festival began with a series of festivals between 1968 and 1970. In 1970, a lineup of over 5 days included, amongst others, Jimi Hendrix, The Who, The Doors, Joni Mitchell, Supertramp, Leonard Cohen, Joan Baez, Chicago, Procol Harum, and played to over 600,000 people. There were no festivals between 1970 and 2002. John Giddens, an established music promoter, seized the opportunity to relaunch it. Research has shown that listening to music can reduce anxiety, blood pressure and pain, as well as improve sleep quality, mood, mental alertness and memory. So even if going to the festival doesn't appeal to you, take inspiration from the many famous acts who have played and listen to some music to lift your mood. Some of my favourite acts have been Queen, The Rolling Stones, Kings of Leon, Coldplay, Fleetwood Mac, David Bowie, Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney, Jay-Z and Amy Winehouse. I enjoy the festival every year with family and friends and feel very lucky to have such a fabulous event on our doorstep. If you have not been to the Isle of Wight Festival and want to find out more, Dimbola in Freshwater are hosting a summer show celebrating 21 years of the Isle of Wight Festival since it was relaunched in 2002. Elaine, Befriending Manager.
Karen Chessel. In this newsletter, I would like to talk a bit about communication with a person who has a dual sensory loss. Most people with this kind of sensory loss are not completely blind or completely deaf, and may have some residual sight and hearing. According to Deafblind UK, clear speech is one of the most effective ways of speaking with someone who has a dual sensory loss. When using this form of communication, other factors are very important to take into consideration. To position yourself where the person is able to see your face, that there is adequate lighting and that there is no background noise. It is important to adapt the conditions to suit the individual. Deafblind Manual is also known as fingerspelling. It is a method of communication using touch alone, where each word is spelt out on the person's hand. Although Deafblind Manual can take a while to learn, once learnt it is much faster to use than other methods and is used worldwide. Block is another form of manual communication where capital letters are spelt on the palm. Complex words can be communicated via this method, however it is slower to use than Deafblind Manual and is less popular. Karen, the Deafblind Support Officer.
Spotlight on Martin, read by Chris. I was born in 1944 at Bonchurch in a nursing home during the war, as that is where my mum was. My dad was stuck on an island in the Bristol Channel called Flatholme, developing Britain's first radar system. I grew up in Blackgang and Chale as my grandparents had a pub called the Blackgang Tap. We lived in the road between Blackgang and Chale. In 1955, I went to East Cowes Technical Grammar School. I left school in 1961 and started working for an architect in Shanklin. During this time, my boss had to go to Pakistan for a job, so I was left in charge to run things, which was quite an experience and showed the trust he had in me. After that, I was given the job of designing the NatWest Bank in Ryde at the top of Union Street. In 1968 I got married and immediately emigrated to Perth, Australia, where I was given the task of designing and building a new bank. During my time in Australia, there was an earthquake that destroyed a railway station, so it was my job to completely redesign and build a new station in Meckering, Western Australia. I came back to the UK in 1972 and bought a plot of land in Kite Hill, Wootton, with the money I had made during my time in Australia, and built our first house. I had 2 children, and in 1982 I decided to go back to Australia and worked for myself for 2 years, where I then returned to the UK, having made enough money to buy 7 plots of land on the Isle of Wight, where I went on to design and build approximately 1,500 houses, including Merry Gardens, Lake and Sibden Hill, Shanklin. I also appeared on the BBC television programme Tomorrow's World in 1971, which featured 2 houses I had designed and built, heated and cooled by the sun. I carried on designing buildings, and in 2012 I was diagnosed with glaucoma. I was still able to work but not able to drive. However, clients would kindly pick me up and take me to sites, or I would get the bus, so I was still able to continue working up until 2019, when my eyesight had become so bad as I couldn't see what I was drawing. So this was an ending point for me, no longer able to create building designs. In my spare time now, I enjoy walking and socialising with people. It's amazing that having a white cane is an icebreaker whenever I am sat in a park, as people enjoy asking questions. I am so pleased that my GP suggested I contact Sight for White, because I am a regular attendee of the Wednesday coffee morning, and as a result of attending, I reacquainted with an old friend, John, who I met when I was at East Cowes Technical Grammar School. Recently, I took part in the Cycle Your Bike for Sight for White and clocked up 10 miles, so it's nice to be able to support the charity that helps so many people suffering with sight loss. Martin.
Warner's Short Break Holiday. Following on from the 3 very successful short breaks to Norton Grange in Yarmouth, we have once again booked to go in October. We have secured a 2-night break between the 18th and 20th of October, but rooms are very limited and, if oversubscribed, names will be placed in a ballot. The cost is £140, which includes 2 nights stay with breakfast and evening meal, plus entertainment and activities. The closing date for expression of interest is August the 11th, and deposits will be taken once the rooms have been allocated.
Sight for White 100 Club. Winners this time are Viv, Trish and Charlotte. Congratulations. A very warm welcome to Joan and Fred. If you would like to join the Sight for White 100 Club, you get a number for just £2 a month, and you are helping to support us too.
Tips for members. I struggle to find my light switch, so I have started to put a bump on it. So when I feel the change of texture, I know it is my light switch. Mark from Newport. When I put my purse down on my table, which has a dark tablecloth on it, I can't find it. My friend told me that she's tried putting a white tissue down first, and then put her purse on it and was unable to find it later. I'm going to give it a try. Lindsay from Sundown. I've added a border which I have stuck around the edges of my living room. This has helped me make the wall stand out more. Peter from Freshwater. If you have any tips to include in our newsletter, please let us know.
Meet Volunteer Yvonne. I was born in Coventry, Warwickshire. I left school at 16 with 8 CSEs and wanted to be a nurse, but as you needed more qualification, it wasn't to be. My life has been a mixture of all sorts of travelling around the world, during which time I had a variety of jobs and met some lovely people, some of whom set me on the road to my hobbies today. The first of which was spinning in New Zealand with a wonderful lady called Inez Dunsmire. She imparted lots of her knowledge and inspired me to spin most days of my life. After that, the Isle of Wight became very significant to me. I was in Australia when I learned my parents had moved there. I took a job as a waitress for a season in Sandown and then helped my parents in their hotel for some years. It was here that I met my husband, Michael. He was a visitor to our hotel. A year later, I married him at Christchurch in Sandown. We moved straight away to Plymouth, which was where our son Ian was born. Newquay was our next destination for the next 5 years. Michael was a meteorologist for the MOD and had to move around the country when asked. I joined a spinning group and had a great time with Cornish friends, meeting at each other's houses regularly. We as a family attended church and I got involved with cooking for them and the community. We then got transferred to Ruskington, Lincolnshire for 5 years. After being unwell for a time, I visited the doctors and after some tests informed me I was pregnant and had a wonderful baby daughter who we named Amy. I already had a son called Ian who was 10 years old. My husband's last posting was to Bracknell, so we ended up at the very top of Hampshire in a place called Yateley. He then retired, which brought us to the Isle of Wight to be near my parents. It was here that I rekindled my love for many other crafts, and because of my love for spinning, I dived in and did an accredited course in felting. One exam piece was so large I had to transfer it to the driveway to work on. It ended up being about 7 feet by 6 feet. I also took a course in mosaicing and pottery and joined a crochet group. I baked for country markets, part of the WI for a time. After a while I started my own business, Von's Spin-Off. I was also baking every week and sold my goods at Bembridge Village Hall until 2020. Nowadays I delight in cooking and baking for friends and family, especially for Sight for Wight. I joined Sight for Wight as a volunteer in 2019 because I was bringing my mum to events and decided I wanted to help. This means that nowadays, on the first Tuesday of most months, you will find me at God's Hill Tea Rooms for a coffee morning from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yvonne Durrant. Pictures shown of Yvonne and some of our members.
Hearing aids. In this article, I thought it might be helpful to discuss the different kinds of hearing aids that are available. Some of the hearing aids below may not be available on the NHS, so please discuss your hearing needs with your audiologist as they are best placed to advise. BTE or behind the ear hearing aids. These are by far the most used hearing aids by the NHS. There are 2 specific types that are issued regularly. Open fit, which has a very fine tube from the aid to the ear with a small soft tip or dome on the end which is inserted into the ear. And a moulded version. The moulded version requires a mould which is specially made from an impression that is taken of your ear by the audiologist. The mould is attached to the aid via a piece of tubing, and this tubing needs replacing roughly every 4 to 6 months. Receiver in the ear or RITE, R-I-T-E. These are very similar to behind the ear open fit aids, except they are much smaller and less obvious to other people. The main difference is that the receiver is sited at the end of a wire which is placed just inside the ear canal. ITE or in the ear aids. These are very small and fill the ear near the opening of the ear canal. They cannot be seen from behind, so are less conspicuous than BTE or RITE aids. Due to their small size, they can be more difficult for some people to get them in or to change the batteries. ICT or in the canal aids. These are very similar to ITE aids, except they are much smaller and fit into the ear canal, making them practically invisible. Due to their small size, they are not generally suitable for people with a severe hearing loss. CIC aids or completely in the canal, also called IIC aids or invisible in the canal. These are the smallest type of hearing aid available. They go further into the ear canal than ITC aids, which makes them invisible from the outside. They can only put in and be taken out by a specialist, but once in situ, they can remain there for several months. Cross or bicross. This type of hearing aid can be very useful if you've lost hearing in just one ear. They come as a pair, and the hearing aid in the ear with no hearing picks up the sound and transmits it to the hearing aid in the good ear. This can be done wirelessly or by using a wire connected from one aid to the other, which passes round the back of the neck. And lastly, the body worn. These are an option when it's not possible for a person to use conventional hearing aids, which are inserted into the ear, or because a person needs an aid that is more powerful. They can be used with unilateral bilateral domes or with a bone conduction headband. Both are physically attached to the receiver by a wire. When a person's needs outweigh the usefulness of any of the above hearing aids, all is not lost, as there are alternatives which I will discuss in the next issue of the newsletter. And that's Paula reading that article, and I'm the Technical Officer for Hearing Impairment.
Education update. Since the last newsletter, we have been to Summerfields Primary School for a third time to their Year 1 class. We've been to St Mary's Primary for the first time to their Year 5 class. We were at Wootton Primary for a whole day to their Year 2, Year 5 and Year 6 classes. And we've been to St Helens Primary for a whole day to their Year 5 and 6, Year 3 and 4 and Year 1 and 2 classes. We've also had our Hat and Sunglasses Day on the 21st of June. A video featuring our 4 puppets was created for the schools to watch to spread the importance of keeping your eyes healthy to reduce the risk of sight loss. We thank all the schools that took part. The next schools we have coming up before the summer holidays are Brading Primary School and Gurnard Primary School to deliver the programme to all their classes. We've had some great feedback from Wootton and St Helens Primary about the sessions, which I will share below. Wootton Primary said, "It was a pleasure having you and the team yesterday. All of the children involved thoroughly enjoyed it. Your volunteers were so knowledgeable and engaging. The kids really got a lot out of it." Also, having spoken to Years 5 and 6 about the experience, they all agreed trying on the glasses was their favourite, and they said that they wish they could have taken home the laminated seeing sheet to share with their families at home. St Helens Primary said, "We would like to thank you for coming to our school and teaching us about living with sight impairment." Here are some thoughts from Year 6 about their session. "Thank you so much for making me more knowledgeable about my sight, even when my own vision is severely damaged. I liked experiencing the reading, writing braille task and learning about the different types of eye damage. Thank you for that inspirational talk about sight impairment and blindness. It was most cool to look through those plastic sheets in what will show you how things look with sight conditions. Thank you for taking your time to come and teach us about the different eye conditions. My favourite part was when we wrote in braille because I enjoyed learning how to write different things. Thank you for coming to our school. We really appreciate that, and all of us know now how to keep our eyes safe and healthy. Finally, I'd like to say a big thank you to the volunteers who come along with me to the schools. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you, and I appreciate every minute you give to help me with these sessions. Jasmine Edwards.
This is Lisa reading the Isle of Wight Festival. This year we attended the Isle of Wight Festival to both raise funds and raise awareness of the charity and how we can help. With over 3,500 goals attempted, here are a few highlights of people playing. Images covering people playing goalball. Having raised just over £700, we will be returning to the Isle of Wight Day with our trustees hosting goalball. Again, for families to enjoy this fun day out. It is on September the 16th at Brading Roman Villa. We look forward to seeing everybody there.
Get on your bike for Sight for Wight. Our aim for this new sponsor challenge was to cycle 932 miles to represent every island person living with profound sight loss. The campaign started on the 17th of June in Asda's foyer. Volunteers, staff and Asda staff cycled on a static bike, clocking up 60 miles. The bikes then came back to Millbrook House and, during the week, members, staff, volunteers and trustees joined in and clocked up the miles. Every sticker on our map represented 1 mile, one person. Participants were asked to gain sponsorship to raise funds for the charity, and we have raised over £750 with more money due in. Hopefully, next year, more members, families, friends and neighbours will join us, and we hope to go out on the road with our members on tandems.
Story writing competition, read by Chris. Our short story writing competition is back a little earlier this year and the 14th year of the competition, originally started by our patrons R.C. Bridgestock, international crime writing authors. This year's theme is The Future, which will give our writers scope, creativity and a chance to let their imagination go wild. Our awards ceremony will be on Friday the 8th of December at the Riverside Centre. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. with a 7 p.m. start. We will have entertainment as usual and a chance to hear some of the winning stories. We are delighted to announce this year's celebrity readers who have kindly agreed to donate their time to read the winning stories. Chesney Hawkes, best known for his hit single The One and Only, which topped the UK singles chart for 5 weeks. Richard Cadell, best known for being the InVision presenter and the hand of Puppet Sooty since succeeding Matthew Corbett in 1998. This is Richard's 3rd time supporting us. Debbie McGee, best known as the assistant and widow of magician Paul Daniels. She is a former ballet dancer and was a celebrity dancer on Strictly Come Dancing in 2017. R.C. Bridgestock, international husband and wife writers Robert, Bob and Carol Bridgestock. This year we are introducing the Adana Minghella Award as a tribute to the lovely Adana who sadly passed away last year. This award will be for a story with depth, emotion and creativity, matching her own strength and character. Chris. Short Story Writing Competition 2023. The Future. Enter our competition with a futuristic theme for a chance to have your story published and recorded by a celebrity, plus other great prizes to be won. Entry fee per story. £8 for adults, 1,500 to 2,000 words. £2 for 12 to 17s, up to 750 words. £2 for 8 to 11s, up to 500 words. £2 for under 8s, up to 250 words with pictures. Entry forms from Waterstones in Newport, Sight for White in Carisbrooke, Dress for Less in Newport. Email admin@iwsb.org.uk. For more information, visit sightforwhite.org.uk. Award ceremony on Friday the 8th of December 2023, Riverside Centre, Newport at 7 p.m. Entries must be returned by 5 p.m. on Friday the 3rd of November. Sight for White is the working name for Isle of Wight Society for the Blind. Registered charity number 1149415. Company limited by guarantee 6240404. Picture shows 4 celebrities: Richard Cadell, Chesney Hawkes, Debbie McGee and R.C. Bridgestock.
Carers Lounge. The Carers Lounge has relocated to a new home. You can now find it at the north entrance of St Mary's Hospital, just past the north reception desk. The Carers Lounge is an information and advice service for unpaid carers while the person they look after is in hospital. The team offers emotional support as well as practical advice. No appointment is necessary and walk-ins are welcome.
Out and about. We are getting so many invitations now to talk to groups around the island on what we do here at Sight for White and also the White Sentence team. In the last couple of months we have attended Binstead WI, Shanklin and Hythe WI, GKN, Isle of Wight College, West Wight Our Place, Ventnor Our Place. Further, we have been invited to do bucket collections at Morrison's and Asda. We were awarded £1,500 from Freshwater Tesco as the locals' chosen charity. We also have our pudding and quiz here at Millbrook House on September the 29th.
Member Support Officer. In the last newsletter, I talked about anti-glare glasses as the weather improved and people are getting out and about. So I wanted to let you know what options there are for making you safer and having more confidence when venturing outdoors. Road safety. Tactile signals or rotating cones are found on the underside of the push-button control box at pedestrian crossings and rotate when the green pedestrian symbol appears and it is safe to cross. The lack of a curb edge makes it difficult to know where the path ends and the road begins. Tactile paving is used to help warn you that there may be about to be step onto the road. The tactile paving used at dedicated crossing points has rows of raised ball-like blisters which are set in line to help show you the right direction to cross the road. It is also coloured to stand out from the surrounding footway surface, and the colour used will depend on the type of crossing. Red paving is used at crossings where the traffic has to stop to allow pedestrians to cross, such as zebra crossings, pelican crossings, puffin crossings, toucan crossings and road junctions with traffic signals. Buff or light brown paving is used at other dedicated crossing points where there is nothing to control the flow of traffic and make it stop. Karen Bazzani.
Welcome to my first newsletter from 57 Pyle Street, our wonderful new shop. After many months of behind-the-scenes negotiations, communications, ifs, buts and maybes, planning and preparation, we confirmed our moving date and planned to make the short journey to our new location. Before we could even contemplate moving in, work was needed to remove the hairdressing fittings. We would like to thank Carl from Whiteworks for completing all the work, charging us only for the materials use. Thank you very much, Carl. With the building work complete and the electrics, fire systems and gas checked, it was time to plan the fixtures, installation and decoration. First came the sales desk, very kindly donated by Jewson's in Newport. Mounted on wheels, it allows us full flexibility. Then the shop fitting installed and decoration started. Neither of the latter two of these would have been possible without the very generous donation of £1,000 from Ventnor Lions Club. Thank you very much, Phil. Les Parker from I'll Fix It had been busy decorating and installing the shop fittings and fixtures in the new premises in anticipation of the move and went into overdrive in the final week to make sure everything was ready. Thank you again to Les for doing an amazing job. As anyone who has moved home will recognise, we soon discovered that there was a lot more to disassemble, pack and move than perhaps we'd anticipated, with the additional responsibility of protecting our customers' clothes. We are eternally grateful to Neil and Terry from Page the Packers who came to our aid and efficiently moved the entire shop contents to Pyle Street. Neil and Terry were outstanding throughout the entire process, professional, fun and friendly. Nothing was too much bother. Thank you to Neil and Terry. Unsurprisingly, our shop volunteers were brilliant throughout, both packing and unpacking, ensuring that the stock was displayed perfectly on the new display rails and shelves. We have gone into great lengths to install bespoke fittings to maximise the use of space, whilst providing a comfortable and pleasant shopping experience. Our stock changes daily, and now in our new shop, we can change accordingly. I would like to say a huge thank you to all our wonderful ladies for all their hard work and for giving up even more of their free time to ensure we were ready for the grand opening. On the 10th of June, we were the honour of welcoming Gio Minghella Giddins to cut the ceremonial ribbon to officially open our new shop. With the Isle of Wight County Press in attendance, we were able to celebrate with a glass of bubbly with our first customers of the day. We received fantastic feedback regarding their first impressions of the new shop, together with many cards and balloons and customers wishing us success. Thank you all, very kind. I was generously presented with a beautiful bouquet of flowers, which I genuinely appreciated, and Sight for White presented Lisa, our CEO, with a gift thanking her for all the work and support for getting the new project off the ground. Everyone who has met me knows how much I love the shop and my passion for it and the charity. And I will strive to ensure our new shop continues to be a great asset both to Sight for White and the Isle of Wight community. I'm delighted to announce that I now have an assistant manager, Tracy, who brings every possible positive quality to the shop and has immediately been a great support to me and a valuable asset to us all. I will introduce Tracy more fully in my next newsletter. Finally, I would like to thank everyone who has helped me make this all possible, particularly Lisa and all the trustees who've placed their faith in me to deliver for the charity. I cannot mention everyone by name who has helped me along the way, but I hope you know how grateful I am. I will mention my husband Steve, who has been so supportive of me in the entire project, helping me with numerous tasks, showing immense patience when I've woken him at 4 a.m. with a new idea for the shop and during my extended absences from home. If you haven't been to visit our splendid new shop yet, I do hope that we will see you soon. I keep saying shop, but as more than one customer has commented, it's now a fabulous boutique. See you soon. Best wishes, Debbie.
This is Hello Everyone article read by Lisa. Our Hello Everyone QR codes aiding access for visually impaired people into buildings have reached all across the Solent transport carriers and even moved outdoors too. Hover Travel, our first ferry company, has been nominated for various accessibility awards and our QR codes have featured in all of them. Neil Chapman wrote, Sight for White has been a valued member of our user group for many years and continue to bring a great deal of expertise to our company, ensuring the services on Hover Travel are available to all, especially those with a sight impairment. Whitelink has now followed suit and their QR codes are being produced this month. Sarah Howden has been a pleasure to work with and understands these codes not only benefit people living with sight loss, but others too, for example, those using mobility aids or people living with anxiety about visiting new places. Such a simple but effective idea, Sarah said. Thank you. Red Funnel, the last ferry company to come on board, is putting plans in place to work with us, and we hope to report back on progress soon. Ferry companies, every Hampshire and Isle of Wight police station, various Isle of Wight council buildings, the Key Arts Centre are to name but just a few of the other sites using our codes. We have been working with Richard Priest from Sandown Town Council too, and new codes have been installed at the Eastern Gardens new accessible toilet and at Shanklin Theatre, where the blind comedian Chris McCausland met with Chris Kane and trustee Ruth Hollingheads to unveil the code. Finally, as reported last year, we have now moved outside and produced QR codes for 30 gift to nature sites around the island. Carol Flux said, Sight for White has worked alongside us to develop a series of 30 audio-visual guides that can be downloaded onto a mobile phone at all of our sites, or in advance of the visit through our website, enabling a visitor to make an informed choice regarding the suitability of the site, and to guide them once they're there. I'm not aware that this has been attempted anywhere else, and given that our expertise is nature conservation, we have required a great deal of mentoring and patience from Sight to White on what, for us, has been a steep learning curve. If you know of anywhere that could benefit from a QR code, please contact Chris on 522205.
Coronation, our own champion. In May, along with the rest of the country, we celebrated the coronation of King Charles III. But, not only that, we celebrated our very own coronation too. Trustee Ruth Hollingshead was nominated by Sight for White as a coronation champion, and she won. Together with Her Majesty Queen Camilla, the Royal Voluntary Service launched the awards to celebrate extraordinary volunteers across the country. Thousands of people aged from 14 to 103 from all over the UK were nominated. 5 volunteers were handpicked and crowned coronation champions. Ruth received an official coronation champion's pin, a royal signed certificate, and she attended the Windsor Castle coronation concert. Ruth said, I accepted this award on behalf of every single person who volunteers for Sight for White. The concert was a truly wonderful experience. Thank you for nominating me.
13th of September 2023, 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. Wendy's Hall, Woodbine Close, Newport. Sight for White Low Vision Day. Sight for White offers support through your low vision journey from diagnosis to reaching a level of independence that you choose. With peer-to-peer support, social activities and equipment demonstrations, we are here to give you the right help at the right time. RSVP on 5/2/2205. White Sense Hearing Help Day. Our White Sense team of specialists help anyone with hearing or sight loss live safely, confidently and independently. They offer free home visits to discuss, assess and agree your needs. They demonstrate equipment, offer training both in and outside of your home and make referrals to other organisations. RSVP on 2/4/0222.
Behave. With Millbrook becoming increasingly busy, we are looking at ways of increasing parking spaces, so the trustees have authorised the removal of the old building to the left of the front door. With a leaking roof and many cracks in it, the building is coming down. But first we had to rehome its occupants. A nest of bees had made a roof cavity their home, so we contacted the Isle of Wight Beekeepers Association based at Core Abbey, where Ruth and Steve came along on Saturday the 8th and Sunday the 9th of July to scoop up the bees and took them to their new home in Osborne, East Cowes. Photo of them being taken away. The sight of the swarm was quite spectacular, and we are so pleased that they were able to be rehomed without being harmed. We want to pass on our huge thanks to the IWBKA for their help. Pictures included of the bees being removed and taken to their new home.
Hello everybody, it's that time again when I, Terry, present you with Terry's 20 teasers for June already. My goodness, doesn't time fly? So here we go. The first section is 5 questions on the Isle of Wight Festival through the ages. Number 1. What is the name of the family who organised the festival? Number 2. In which year was the very first festival held? Number 3. Bob Dylan headlined the festival in which year? Number 4. And Jimi Hendrix in which year? And number 5, the festival was revived in 2002 as a one-day event. What was it called? Right, 5 more questions now. These are focusing mainly on summer. Number 6. I have asked this one before, actually. I wonder if you maybe remember it. The sunniest town on the island is also the UK's sunniest. Which one is it? Number 7. Have you noticed that flowers tend to go by colour through the year, starting with white, like snowdrops is the obvious example, then yellow with primroses, daffodils, celandine, even dandelions, then blue, most notably bluebells, of course. What colour generally comes next? Round about now, in fact. Number 8. When do the nights start to get longer? Number 9. Brussels sprouts are a summer vegetable. True or false? Number 10. On which weekend does the island scooter rally take place? 10 more questions, all on the general theme of potluck or general knowledge. Just random, any old things, really. Number 11. Where's the best area on the island for spotting lizards? Number 12. Which of the 7 wonders of the Isle of Wight is the young wine you cannot drink? Number 13. What is the missing number in this series? 8, 27, 64, then the question mark one, and then 216. Number 14. Who is the current leader of the Lib Dems? Number 15. Who popularised the reggae-style song Kingston Town in 1989? Number 16. Where is Valletta? Number 17. What is H2O? Number 18. What famous British battle occurred in 1066? Number 19. What's the main difference between a nectarine and a peach? And number 20. Do 20p pieces and 50p pieces have the same number of sides as each other? There we are. There's your 20 questions. 20 answers coming up shortly. And here we go with the answers to Terry's 20 teasers for June. The family that organised the Isle of Wight festival is Giddings. The very first festival was in 1968. Number 3, Bob Dylan headlined the festival in 1969. And number 4, Jimi Hendrix did likewise in 1970. When they revived the festival in 2002 as a one-day event, they called it Rock Island. Number 6, the sunniest town on the island and also in the UK is Shanklin. Number 7, mauve, pink, reddish sort of a colour. We have the white ones, then we have the yellow ones, then the blue ones, and then things like Foxgloves, Herb Robert, Campion, you can probably think of some others, a mauvey, pinky red sort of colour, which is round about now. Number 8, when do the nights begin to get longer? Well, 21st or 22nd of June. Never mind, it won't be dark early for quite a while yet. Number 9, sprouts are a winter vegetable, not a summer one, so that is false. Number 10, the scooter rally on the island takes place over the late August bank holiday weekend. Number 11, a good area for seeing lizards is Ventnor. Number 12, the young wine that you cannot drink is Newport. Number 13, the answer is 125. 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. 64 is 4 times 4 times 4. So 125 is 5 times 5 is 25, times 5 again is 125. And then 216 is 6 by 6 by 6. Rather a tricky one, I guess. Sorry. Number 14, the leader of the Lib Dems currently is Ed Davey. Number 15, the reggae-style song Kingston Town was popularised in 1989 by the group UB40. Number 16, Valletta is in Malta. Number 17, H2O is water. Number 18, In 1066, the famous British battle was the Battle of Hastings. Number 19. A nectarine has a smoother skin than a peach. I think a peach may be slightly smaller than a nectarine, but the chief difference is that a nectarine has a smoother skin. And number 20, those two coins. Yes, they both have the same number of sides, 7. How did you get on? I hope you enjoyed it, and do join me again in another couple of months' time. Bye for now.
Contact information. Sight for White. Telephone 01983 52205. Email enquiries@iwsb.org.uk. Website sightforwhite.org.uk. White Sense. Telephone 01983 240 222. Email info@whitesense.org.uk. Website whitesense.org.uk. Opening hours Monday to Friday 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Dress for less. Telephone 01983 523 197. Email retail@iwsb.org.uk. Address 57 Pyle Street, Newport, Isle of Wight, PO30 1UL. Newsletter available in the following formats: Alexa, USB, Braille.